Good morning, you're watching Morning Cafe, and when you see me in this particular setup, you already know this is Agri Talk. And this morning we are in Murang'a County in a very small village called Kariowa. And true to its name, it relates to the sun, and hapa kwenye tuko sasa hivi, it's quite sunny. The sun is shining so bright. But right here today we are with Elijah. We are here to talk about avocados. Who doesn't like avocados in this day and age? So that is what we want to talk about. He is an agronomist, but he'll be telling us what works best for avocados now that he has worked or produced or dealt with avocados for a very long time. Elijah, karibu sana. This is Agri Talk, and thank you so much for hosting us. How are you?
Thank you. Welcome to Eric Farm.
Eric Farm. Yes. Is it Eric or Elik?
Eric.
Eric.
Yes.
Tell us the reasoning or the inspiration behind the name.
Thank you. My name is Elijah Gwangishi, an agronomist. The reason behind the name is an acronym. It's Elijah Karago. So it's just the short name, Eric. You take the Elijah to Eric, then K from the Karago name.
Yeah. Is it a one-man-owned business, or you are together with very many people?
It's not a one-man-owned business. It's a family business.
Mm-hmm. How many people?
Roughly, let's say 7 directors.
7 directors. How is it like working with such many people, Elijah? You know, we've seen businesses fail when we say families come together to put up something. Watu wako na interest hapa na pale. But now that we're talking about this being a family or own business, or 7 is such a big number. How is it like working with that number?
It's actually the best setup, because now the decision making is, because everyone has a goal. They are all in the same goal, so the decision making is paramount. Because no one is doing this, the other one doing this. Everybody is focused on what we are producing, what we are doing.
So what do you think works best for you that maybe people who are in dispute, before of course we get deep into avocado, what works best for you that you think maybe other businesses or businesses that have very many directors don't tap into to ensure that they are not going separate ways before whatever they're working on really just progresses?
One is the goal. What do you want to achieve? What legacy are you after? Do you want to create your own legacy? Or is there a legacy left that you want really, that wasn't achieved, that you really want to achieve? It's all about the goal and the mindset of the individuals, and definitely the interest of an individual per se. Now, like here we have one goal, one direction, one legacy, and one team.
Yes. Elijah, you are an agronomist. Now that we're talking about avocados today, of course you deal with so many crops, just trying to determine which soil works best for which particular crop. For avocados, for instance, which soil have you discovered or found out that works best for avocados?
Fine. There are different types of soils, but the one that works best for avocado is the Saderom soil. The Saderom soil, one, it allows the roots of the avocado tree to penetrate well, and also to get the nutrients that the crop requires.
How about the black cotton soil? I realize there's very many areas love the black cotton soil for coffee. Let's talk about other crops, you know, especially in the central region. So why is it that for you, the black cotton soil isn't well suited for avocados?
One, the black cotton soil holds a lot of water, and then it dries instant. Like when it rains, you'll find there's a lot of water. And then when the sun comes, you find even the soil will crack. One, avocado trees requires a minimal, or the requirements for the water. There's the water that every crop requires. If you overfeed your avocado tree with a lot of water, it brings what is called the waterlogging. When the plant is subjected to waterlogging, you get what is called the root rot. When it has the root rot, the plant dies. You lose your crop, you lost your product, you lost your money.
So how many times should one feed their crop, particularly avocados?
One, If it's rain-fed, the best. But in the instances where there is a lot of sunshine, you can feed your avocado tree, let's say twice in a week. Yes.
Twice in a week is good.
Yes,
Like for instance, you were telling me Karioa, you know, a lot of sunshine. You experience a lot of sunshine here. So what amount of water, or how many times do you water these avocados? Because this is a very, very big field, as we can already see. How many times do you water these crops?
One, our farm is rain-fed. We don't do irrigation. But now for us to ensure that we've retained the water or the moisture in the soil, we do what is called mulching. We ensure like all our crops, all our avocado trees are mulched, so that now we can not only add nutrients to the soil, but also retain the water, the moisture, the soil moisture that is in the soil, and help us sustain the crops in the farm.
So what happens during very, very heavy rains, Elijah? You know, the rains that cause flooding, you know, to say hailstones are here. What happens during that particular time? Because tutapata, when it rains, maybe there's a lot of clogging. Hapo, what happens to those avocados?
One, if there is a lot of rain, we have ensured that our farm has all the soil conservation structures that are required, the terraces. Like now we are doing the bench terraces here. We've planted our avocado in the branch terraces, in the bench terraces, to ensure that the soil isn't carried away by the water. In the essence where there's a lot of rain, the avocado, the only thing that will happen to avocado is like now we are in the wrong rain season. The avocado is ready, it's mature for harvesting. But now if you delay and there's a lot of rain, you find that your crop will be destroyed in the farm.
When you say you use mulching method to ensure that the soil gets nutrients for that particular crop, what do you use exactly for mulching? Is it a particular type of grass, or what exactly?
There are different type of grasses that we use, but for the farm we use a particular type of grass. But one, that grass does not only, we can not only use it for mulching, but also we can use it as for fodder. So that grass, when you want to do mulching, we allow it to overgrow in the farm, like in the terraces that we have here. We have that grass. So when it's ready, we harvest it, we dry it, and then we do mulching with it. We don't use it when it's already wet. We let it dry, then we use it for mulching.
So as you talk about, you have it here, we can just see it. This is the particular grass you're talking about. Yes. So at what length do you wait for it to just grow before you cut it, or you uproot it?
No, you don't uproot. You just harvest it. Yes.
Before harvesting, what height works best for mulching?
For mulching, let's say about 2 to 3 feet is okay for mulching.
Yeah. That is somewhere about around here?
Yes.
All right. Of course, you deal with avocados a lot, Elijah. Which regions have you seen work best for avocado progress? You know, we see here, for instance, here in Murang'a, we tested and proven. We're here already to know it's doing very, very well. But in your experience as an avocado farmer, which regions have you seen work best?
One, the central region is working well in avocado. And also now because now avocado was only grown in the coffee regions, like the Roa side of Murang'a. But even now we can see where there's the tea zones, the upper regions of Murang'a. Avocado is doing so well. And actually it's the sweetest, because when it grows in the, let's say in the humid temperatures, you find one, the crops that are there are not so much attacked by pests and by the diseases. Yes, and they mature it. It's a rich crop. Where here we have a early crop. In the T zones, it's the rich crop. Other counties like Trans Nzoia, now they are really trying to catch up with the central region in terms of avocado farming. Meru is also doing very well. It's doing very well in the Fuerte variety.
So those are the type of avocados that we have. So for this particular farm, the Eric farm, yeah, which particular type of avocados do you plant here? Is it the Fuerte or the Hass?
In Eric Farm, we have the two varieties. We have the Hass, and also we have the Fuete. And also we have done some top working in that we have converted the several Fuetes into Hass.
How is that possible, converting from one breed to another?
It's very possible. Actually, all the trees that are grown here have been converted. You can't get a pure breed of Hass. So it has to be what we call, it has been propagated. Yes.
So how is that conversion done exactly?
It's done by an expert. You select the one. You have to the selection of the tree that you're going to use matters a lot. The age, how that fruit is, how that tree is felled, and also the vigor that it has, because you want to have the right vigor, so that now the tree can produce to its optimum. And also we are looking for one that if we do the top working, it will be tolerant, not really tolerant, but the pest and diseases won't be affecting the trees as if it was just a pure breed. Yeah.
Between Hass and Fuerte for you guys in Eric Farm, which one do you prefer? Which one is most the sweetest? You know, you said here it's sweet, but now you have Hass and Fuerte. You're converting the Fuerte to Hass, some of them. So which one would you recommend for a farmer who's just starting?
For a farmer who is starting, do Hass avocado. But definitely when you do the only Hass avocado without the Fuete, you will find you will reach a point where now the production of your Hass starts reducing. Other than increasing, it starts declining because of the cross-pollination. So the Fuete one really helps in cross-pollination. So in Eric Farm, we got both the Fuete and we have the Hass.
You were talking about black cotton. Sometimes it creates or it produces very, very watery avocados. Is it the reason as to why sometimes unaenda pale soko unapatana na avocado and it is quite watery? Is that the case?
Not really. The waterness and the fatness, the fat content of the avocado doesn't depend with the type of the soil, but the type of the tree or the fruit. Yes, we got what we call the ordinary avocado. That's the one that you'll find that has a lot of, let's say it's watery inside. Now when it comes to the Hass, it's really nice. It's the margarine of this area.
So Hass is the fatty avocado one? And which one is sweeter, Elijah? Is it the one with fat or the one without or the one with that is watery?
One with fat, definitely. Yes.
All right. Naona tumesimama hapa nyuma and you're talking about coffee. It does well in the central region. Yes. I see traces of coffee here, but ni kidogo sana. What exactly is going on? Do you also do coffee in this particular farm where you're trying to also just have it with avocados at the same time?
Yes, we were having bushes of coffee in this farm, but we made a decision to do away with the coffee because coffee and avocado are two heavy feeder crops. Now when you have nutrients in the farm, the two will be competing for the nutrients in the farm. So we made a decision to do away with coffee because when there was coffee, the trees were really, the fruits that were from this farm were really not the best quality. But now, after doing away with coffee, the fruits are quite nice as you will walk around the farm and see.
Yeah. So is coffee something that you are considering, ama you're doing away with it kabisa kabisa?
We're not doing away with coffee. We only like now we want to do coffee separately, avocado separately. Yes. To do a single stand.
All right. Elijah, this is a very, very big farm, and I've talked about that earlier on. But you see, I want us to go back to where you started, you know, for somebody who is watching and is saying, they are going to see how big it is. What inspired you guys to venture into avocado farming?
One, there before we were only venturing in coffee. Diversification. came in. And like now, if you farm coffee and you do avocado, you have two sources of income. So one, we ventured in avocado as a source of income. Two, there's ready market, both internationally and locally. So because now, when we say locally, there are a lot of avocado companies within Murang'a region. The local market is available market, because if I harvest my avocado, I'll just call for the vendors in the market and they'll come and collect. Three, it's a fruit, so it has nutrients. So it's nutritious, so it also can consumed in the homesteads.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what year was it exactly, Elijah?
Before I go to the which year,
Yes.
it's also a source of employment, because now the people around here, whenever the harvesting has to be done, you create employment. When you want these farms to be maybe mulching, you also creating employment, both for the youth and for the women.
Looking out for others.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right. Now tell us about the, when did this begin?
It began in the year 2013, not very serious, but now then we went full blast now in the year 2014, and we have around 3,000 trees of avocado.
3,000. That's a lot, Elijah. Land ilikuwa inatoshanaje when you're just starting? Because you know somebody will watch and they're like, 2013, where did you guys start from exactly?
We started with one, the sourcing of the green seedlings, because if you don't have green seedlings, you will not achieve what you want. So we started sourcing the green seedlings. Then we, as I said, we didn't begin big. We began small, because now we were fearing on how it will survive in the farm, in the sense that we also have coffee in it. But now then we went full blast, and now everything now just, but it didn't happen like overnight. We had to do some work, and now here we are.
When you were starting, Elijah, what are some of the challenges that you faced with avocado farming that you will maybe advise farmers who are just starting out as well not to be worried about?
One, the establishment of the avocado. You do a wrong establishment, you fail along the way, because one, avocado, there is a season that you always plant. We don't plant avocado during the wrong rains, and that was one of our challenge. When it really rains, the wrong rains like now, that's when we would rush and plant the trees, thinking now like kumenyesha, miche itamea. But now it ended up drying. Until now we did it over the short rains, and that's the best time to establish an avocado orchard. We establish it during the short rains. One, we had to acquire all source for the green seedlings I had stated before. Then we had to prepare our land very well, because we didn't do the shallow planting. We had to do the proper digging of the planting holes, and also do the correct spacing, and then we established the farm. Yes.
So how about the acquisition of seedlings when you're just starting? Where were you getting these seedlings? How were you maneuvering the market? How was it like?
Before we sourced for the green seedlings, we were just buying seedlings over the road nurseries. The road nurseries have one challenge. One, they are not certified. So you are not sure whether the seedling you're getting is the green seedling or the wrong one. But now we went to Carroll, Kandara, and they gave us the best seedling, the green seedlings, and we came and established our farm.
For somebody who's watching and they're thinking of starting, where would you tell them to start from? What should they consider before truly just fully going into avocado farming?
One, don't think about the size of the farm. Think about one, a green seedling. That's the beginning. It's like the nursery school of a human being. If you don't get the right seedling, the start at the beginning of it, you will end up having one, the wrong variety. Two, you will end up having no fruits in your farm. Second, the preparation, the land preparation of your farm. Prepare the lands or your land well enough before you acquire the fruits, the seedlings. Two and three, don't transplant immediately the seedlings after you bought them, because that's a challenge. Most farmers, when they go to the to the market, they buy seedlings, they can't plant immediately. The plant will die because of stress. Avocado got the transportation stress. So if even the change of the weather, it got stress. When you plant it with stress, it dies up. Three, the manner in which you plant your avocado. When you're planting, you don't leave a water basin in the planting hole. Like most people say, if I plant my avocado and leave a basin, it's for water harvesting. When that water is harvested in that basin, you subject your plant to what is called the waterlogging and the root rot, and your crop is done. Yes.
All right, let's talk about harvesting time. You were saying that sometimes it doesn't do well when there are long rains, when somebody's just planting. But now, when do you harvest avocados?
We harvest avocados when it's ready. Like now, it's ready for harvesting.
After how many months? You know, is it three, or is it just twice in a year?
You do it once in a year. Three is for the crops, like the maize, the beans. This is a perennial crop, so you do it once in a year. So there's a season. Now we're in the season of avocado. Now it's the season. Yes.
You said when it's ready. What determines when it's ready? Because now you said these ones that we're seeing on the branches are already ready for the market. Tunaona zingine ni kadogo, but they're ready. So what determines that an avocado is ready for harvesting?
What determines whether it's ready for harvesting? It's one, the size. Avocados are harvested. One tree of avocado can be harvested at most 3 times, because you harvest what is needed in the market at that particular time. When the international market opens, they opens with we want this size of avocado. Is it size 16, size 18, size 20, 22, 24? So it goes as the market reduces in size, in the requirement, in the market requirement, that also reduce, because now we're starting to harvest the big ones, the big avocado, from size 16 to 18, at most 20. So the farm, when you harvest up to 20, the farmer has been left with size 22, 20, downwards. So when you harvest the big ones, the small ones which were like size 16, 18, they now there's no competition for the nutrients. They also increase in size. So we know they are ready for harvest, depending on the size of the fruit.
I saw you were trying to measure one with your hand, you know. So what about it exactly? Do you use the hand when you're talking about the size 16, size 22, size 28? How do you know that this one is size 16, this one is size 22, and this one is 28?
Yes, one, you can use your hands to
Show us.
like now, if you hold your fruit, like your palm can't go around the fruit. This one is ready for harvesting. So this one is already mature for this harvest.
If your hand cannot fit.
If you can't go around it, that is now the most say traditional way. We have the modern way. We have the rings. So there are the rings with different sizes. So if we have the size 16 ring, if it doesn't go over the top or where it holds here, and it doesn't go through the ring, it's ready for harvest. We have seasonal harvesters. Mtu ako na uzoefu. So atakuja angalia matunda yako yote, anajua this is the size that I want. and exactly that person will harvest exactly what is needed.
How does that ring look like? I saw something that we're trying to pull, and maybe you can show us. I see it somewhere here. How it works, we'll see that later as well. But a fun fact that you're trying to tell me that if an avocado falls to the ground, then that one is not qualified. It doesn't qualify to go to the export market. Did you know that? If you knew, tell us in the comment section. But what's the science behind it? Avocado ikianguka chini iwezi enda kwa shamba. Why, Elijah?
One, if we are harvesting avocado for the international markets, we have really to meet the standard of the international market. And that is what is one killing our international market, and we are really sometimes dragging behind in terms of exporting our avocado. If your avocado isn't well handled during the post-harvesting period, if your avocado isn't handled in the right way, you eventually lose your fruit, because when it goes to the market, well, it goes to the international market, by the time it reaches there, it has started like penye iliguza mchanga imeanza kurot. I think maybe scientists can tell us. I think the skin of the avocado and the soil, they are not friends. Yes.
That is quite an interesting fact, and I would love to just have an experiment of that, of course, later on. What are some of the things that international market is looking for when they're now buying these avocados, when you're exporting? I know you've done this for a very long time. So what does the international market look for?
One, the international market looks for very, very minimal requirements. A mature fruit. When you say a mature fruit, is a fruit that is ready for harvest. Because if you harvest a fruit that isn't mature and it goes to the shelves, instead of the fruit ripening, it will rot. That's why you find even in the markets, in the local market, you cut the avocado into halves, you find they are black inside. That was a fruit that wasn't mature for that market. Two, the international markets want quality avocado. What do you mean by quality avocado? One, an avocado that has no defects, has no defects of the attack from the pests. A fruit which has no defects from the sunburns, and a clean fruit like has no scales on it, it has no scrubs on it, it has no the transportation defects like zilifinyana, ikabondwa. So like when it gets to the market, it is already rotten inside it. Yeah.
So when an avocado is black inside, can it be black while ripe ama ni black kama bado ni mbichi?
When it's black inside, it means one, it's rotten, so it isn't ripe. Yeah.
Inakuwa rotten before ive jamani. How is that even possible?
It's possible because one, the aspect is maturity, the maturity index. The fruit had not reached its maturity index before it was harvested. So now, other than now, because after it was harvested, before it got to its maturity index, one means chakula yenye ilikuwa ndani ya hiyo the fruit itself wasn't the right time for it to ripen and to give you the best fruit.
Elijah, why are some with sunburns and some do not have sunburns? Because I can see there are some in where we are standing right now. Kuna mbili hivi ni kama zimechomeka kidogo. Some are very perfect, almost all of them. So what causes that?
One, like this one has the two have sunburns. Sunburns will come in because of the shading. If they don't have the proper shades for my fruit, zitachoma tu na jua.
Yeah. So it's about the jua.
Yeah, it's about the shading of the proper shading. Yeah. You prevent your plant from all your fruits from being attacked by the sunburns.
I realize I said it's about the jua. I meant it's about the leaves, how it's protecting this particular crop. But now Can it be saved in any way?
Yes.
How?
One, even while planting the avocado seedlings, you have to have the aspect of the sunlight and the sunset. In that, when the sun is setting, you have to ensure that your crop is protected. Like now, this one tells you where the sun sets. That's why, yes, this side. That's why we allow some of the trees to be taller than these ones. So the trees on my downside will provide the shade to these fruits.
When we're looking at this, how this land is structured, imeenda kama imeenda chini, is it essential for avocados or is just a preference and how this land is?
This is the nature of the lands in Moranga. They are hilly lands. And this isn't a hindrance to grow avocado. And actually, I found it to be the best doing avocado. Yes.
You know the concern that I had, mtu akianguka huko chini, for the safety of the farmer, you know, dealing with these avocados or these workers that are here wakibeba avocado.
One, as you can see the farm, despite it being steepy, we are like in a flat surface because we've done what is called the bench terraces. So we do the bench terracing, and through those bench terracing, we plant our fruits. And also, sasa mtu aki-harvest, moving upward, it becomes easy for them.
So do you recommend bench terracing for all farms or farmers that are trying to just add avocados or start with avocados? Is it the
I
best?
would recommend it for the steeper runs. But there are the runs that are flat, you don't have to do the bench terraces. Yes.
Elijah, do you deal with pests and diseases when you're dealing with avocados?
Yes.
So how do you prevent such attacks from pests, of course, and diseases?
One, we do what is called the pruning or the field hygiene. We start with the field hygiene. Whenever we have the crop has or the foreign fruits in the ground, we always correct all those fruits. That's why when you're coming in, you wouldn't find any crop that was the fruits that has dropped. Two, we do the pruning. Pruning will give the proper aeration and the proper sunset. Yani hiyo mti itachomwa vizuri na jua. Three, we use the traps in to try and control the pests that will attack our fruits. Yes.
What is the most amount of produce that you have harvested from this particular land?
We've increased our production since we removed the coffee, and last season we harvested roughly 4.5 tons. Yes.
4.5 tons. How, if we translate it into kilograms, or you just use tons?
Tons, like now it's the 4.5 times 1,000.
Yes. Is that the best, or have
No.
you maybe had?
We haven't have our optimal. Because now this season we are thinking to go to around 4.6.
That is the higher, higher than what you harvested last
so
time.
we are foreseeing an event where every season we have to increase our production. Yes.
Have you had maybe an instance where the whole produce or the whole harvest was wasted, Elijah?
Yes. There was a time the whole of this farm where we are, we didn't harvest, despite the trees being having a lot of fruits. We harvested nothing. We harvested around 3 kg, even it didn't get to 300 because all the fruits were really attacked by the sunburns. We really didn't harvest anything. Yes. So hiyo tulichukua ile we just for the middlemen who will harvest it and take it for the oil processing. We didn't do it for export. Yes.
So when something like that, of course, happens, that is a challenge.
Yes.
Ishawai happen tena, or how do you just manage it to ensure that it doesn't happen again?
Now we have to manage it so that now we ensure we don't get a similar situation.
What do you do exactly to prevent that?
Now that's when we decided to do away with the coffee, so that now we can have a lot of shading. Because when we do a lot of shading and the coffee is in the orchard, the coffee will the coffee will not do well when there's over shading of it. Because you see now the coffee kochini ni kafupi, the tree is very long, so the tree will shade the coffee.
You know, where I come from, there's this particular avocado tree that imeka hapo kutoka 1997, you know. It only started to kutoa matunda like somewhere around 2020 there. You know, unaona venye imekaa very many years, and it's quite a very big tree. So what could be the cause of that exactly?
There are various reasons why you plant an avocado tree and it doesn't give you fruits. One is the management of that tree. Most farmers have an aspect of avocado ni mti ya Mungu. Like even if you leave it there, it will produce something for you to eat. But if you don't feed that tree, if you don't have the proper management of that tree, it will not give you fruits. Yes. So it's all about the aspect of management of that tree. Also, the nutrition part of it. Most people don't feed their avocado trees, and you expect it to give you something. So how do you expect to harvest and yet you're not feeding and not you're managing your crop, your tree? So you have to feed your tree, you have to manage your tree. Yes.
When you talk about feeding an avocado tree, how do you feed an avocado tree?
An avocado tree it's very easy to feed. One, people feed it in the wrong way. They feed it at the trunk, pale basement. That's not where you feed the avocado tree. You feed the avocado tree at the canopy of your tree, where pale mti wa avocado umefika, make a small, a very shallow trench around your tree. You input your fertilizer, your well decomposed manure there, and then you cover. That's how you feed your tree. Yes.
And that brings me to this particular question. When you talk about feeding and manure, do you use cow dung or goat or rabbit? Which one do you use?
We use either, but it has to be well decomposed. When I say well decomposed, ni the manure that is almost like very fine, the fine manure. Yes.
All right. You know, something that maybe somebody might be wondering about, if you are exporting this for the international market, how do you do it to ensure that it gets there ikiwa safe without iko squeezed pale, whatever it was being squeezed for? How do you ensure that it inafika pale ikiwa sawa bado?
One, it starts from the harvesting. The harvesting of the fruit. We use the harvesting like a basket, a harvesting basket. Two, we ensure that after the harvest is done, that fruit is well stored. Then we ensure it's transported using crates, not the hatujamwaga kwa truck like just kumwaga. Yes, kwa gunia. We use crates where the fruit is well handled while packing it on the crate. That now when it gets to the processor, like you not have a lot of wastage, lazima ikuwe kidogo, but now we minimize on the wastage during the post-harvesting time. Yes.
And how do you ensure that your avocados, even before harvesting, that they're ready for being the international market or for the export now market?
One, we ensure all season through, we are feeding our trees. Feeding our trees with the correct rates of the fertilizer, the correct rate of manure, and also we really try to control the pests that will attack our fruits. So that now, as you'll see through our farm, our fruits are they are really clean. They have no defects. They are the right size for marketing or for the market. Yes, and also we really try to run through the either social media, through other handles, the requirements of the market, because we want to be in a market where we want to be in a position where we can compete with other countries, with other farms, better farms than ours, and we are headed there.
We're doing well.
Yeah.
If you're like me, and of course you're getting this interesting, maybe you can get a book and a pen and a paper, just to jot down some notes like I'm doing on my phone right now. What I'm getting, Elijah, is that feeding the crop is very important, particularly avocados. And when you talk about the international market, exports, which countries have you seen work best for you as Eric Farm?
For in terms of the exports,
Yes.
we're really doing the European markets. We are doing well, but now we have a challenge of the Peru country. Peru is really doing very nice in production. That now before you meet the right target, unapata Peru ilisha kupita because the avocados the best. Yes, but ours is good. We are headed to the best. Yes.
And to come back to the question of, of course, you were saying we are doing well. How are we from where we started as a country in terms of just being an avocado, export producer? How are we doing?
I can say we are doing quite well. We aren't where we started. We are, last time I checked, we are almost the sixth, if not the fifth country worldwide, Kenya, in terms of avocado production, with around 67, 65, I think, metric tons. Not very sure, but we are around there. We are really doing well. Yes, we are uplifting. We are coming up. We are really competing, and we would be the best. We would be in a better position if only the exporters really waited for this crop to mature. Yes, because what is really challenging us is when you go to the international shelves market, you find a fruit labeled, because when you go to the international market, every fruit is labeled from its originality. And ukienda kwa shelf unapata it's only the Kenyan fruit. Na kako pale kameshrink, kanaka not even kuwa kadogo, hata afya akana, because it was harvested when it's not ready. So if only we were patient enough, kidogo tu, we get the mature tree, we get the mature fruits, that would be of great help. But now goes to the challenge of theft. Theft is a great challenge, and that's why most of our farmers will sell the fruit before it's mature, because theft is a menace. Theft is the greatest disease that is really attacking the avocado farmers, including ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was about to ask that. Do you also get thieves in this particular farm of yours? And how do you deal with that? Ama mko na ulinzi ambavyo mmeweka hapa?
One, we have adopted various methods of curbing theft. Around all the neighborhoods in our farm, we have ensured in every farm there is more than 10 trees, avocado trees planted in those farms. We have our nursery here. We always welcome our neighbors to come and collect the seedlings. They go, they plant. If you don't come collect the seedlings, we have our employees here. They will get the trees and come and plant at your farm. Two, we ensure that the community benefits from all the source of employment. We don't source the employment anywhere. We source it from here. Three, you fenced all the land. And four, there are CCTV cameras inside the farm. Yes.
So the secret is just helping the community and bringing them on board.
Yes, that's the
Involving
secret.
them.
Yeah, because ever since they were onboarded, because hata mtu akipata mtu akitoka hapa having amechuna matunda, the person will ensure that thief is brought home. Yes. So the community is our security.
So Elijah, what's the most fulfilling thing about being an avocado farmer? Of course, as you wind up, and also tell us where we can find, convince us first, what is the most inspiring thing about being an avocado farmer?
One, the income that it brings. It's enjoyable. It's something good. It will cater for your expenses, for the school fees expenses. It's like your second, if you are not employed, this is your source of income. If you are employed, this is your second source of income. So when it comes to income generating, iko sawa. Two, ni chakula bado italiwa nyumbani. Yes. Three, to manage these trees, it's the easiest thing you can do. Managing avocado trees, it's not tedious. Yes.
All right, so where can we find the Eric Farm if we want to, of course, join the local market in terms of just coming here to get these avocados and seedlings as well?
If you want to find, you can find us at Kandara Sub-County, Murang'a County, Kariwa Village. We are just along the Kariwa Kegumo Road. We are developing our social media handle. We want to develop a website where we will be giving all the people, not only locally, internationally, what we are doing here. And also we will be developing our social handles as a farm. Yes.
You will share with us.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Elijah, for hosting us and for just having us on your farm today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you have it. Now, why should you have an avocado on your farm? A source of income, as Elijah puts it, helps with your school fees. It is food at home. So we hope you're convinced that avocado farming is actually something that is profitable not only to you, but to the economy as well. That's it for this week's episode of AgriTalk. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Anne Odida, and see you on the next episode.